Now that we've covered an outside-in analysis, let's do an inside-out analysis. When you do an inside-out analysis, you're assessing the firm's internal competitive potential. The key to inside-out analysis is to stick to what you know best. Your resources are the basic inputs that you use to conduct your business. They include tangible resources. Those are things that are visible and easy to measure. Let's say you own a lumber company. The tangible resources would include everything in your lumber yard, including the facilities, the equipment, the lumber, vehicles, and cash reserves. They also include the intangible resources that are invisible and difficult to quantify. Let's say you own a patent to a new piece of equipment that will revolutionize the lumber industry. Intangible resources would also be if you built up a great reputation. This clearly has value, but it's less tangible and more difficult to put a price tag on than a desk, for example. Once entrepreneurs have an accurate view of their resources and capabilities, they're ready to identify core competencies. Core competencies are those resources and capabilities that provide an enterprise with a competitive advantage over its rivals, such as the combining of a wide selection of gourmet coffees with the Starbucks experience a customer has when visiting the coffee house icon. Core competencies emerge when a company learns over time to use its resources and capabilities in unique ways that reflect the personality of the enterprise. Entrepreneurs who can identify core competencies and apply them effectively are in the best position to help their ventures achieve a competitive advantage. A SWOT analysis is a type of assessment that looks at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to provide a concise overview of a firm's strategic situation and helps identify opportunities that match the venture. A successful competitive advantage matches the strengths and weaknesses of a firm with current opportunities and threats. So how can a SWOT analysis help the entrepreneur match opportunities in the external environment with organizational capabilities? An environmental assessment examines the general environment and the industry environment with the goal of finding opportunities that can be pursued while uncovering threats against which the firm should provide some sort of defense. The organizational assessment, on the other hand, looks inside the firm to inventory both strengths and weaknesses in the firm's arsenal of resources, capabilities, and core competencies. However, a solid advantage foundation can be established only when the strengths and weaknesses of the organization are appropriately matched with the current or probable profile of opportunities and threats. When thinking about seeking competitive insight, these questions usually arise. Will the opportunity lead to others in the future? Will the opportunity build skills that open the door to new opportunities in the future? And will the pursuit of the opportunity be likely to lead to competitive response by potential rivals? When looking at internal factors, some examples of strengths would be skilled or experienced management, having an innovative capacity, having a well-planned strategy, protection from competitive threats, having a positive reputation in the marketplace. Some examples of weaknesses in internal factors would be poorly planned strategy, a lack of management skills, inadequate facilities, having distribution problems, or production inefficiencies. When looking at external factors, some opportunities that may exist may be untapped market potential. There could be a favorable shift in the industry. There could be potential for market growth. Maybe deregulation has affected the industry in a good way. Some threats when it comes to external factors are new competitors in the industry, or rising demands of buyers or suppliers, or perhaps sales is shifting to substitute products, or there's been a slowed market growth, or adverse demographic shifts. The opportunity sweet spot occurs when internal strengths and capabilities meet up with positive external factors in the industry. Some important strategic terms are strategy, strategic decision, and sustainable competitive advantage. Strategy is a plan of action that coordinates the resources and commitments of an organization to achieve superior performance. A strategic decision is a decision regarding the direction a firm will take in relating to its customers and competitors. and a sustainable competitive advantage is a value-creating industry position that is likely to endure over time. Entrepreneurs have to decide which direction they're going to go and which strategies they're going to try to go with. Companies competing in the same industry usually have different strategies when it comes to how they're going to gain customers. With a cost-based strategy, some businesses go for high-quality, upscale products or services, while others go for budget consciousness and low prices. Think of Prada shoes versus Payless shoes. Each company is going for very different target markets with their products.